truly the voice of our generation.
We're back.
You know?
I have to apologize if my voice sounds like it's going. I've been sick for a week, and I've also been filming all day, so it might last, it might not. Right.
Wait, that wasn't loud enough. There it is.
Anyways, we're back. We are here. We are here to talk about some new movies, or some movies in general that we've watched recently. I would just like to start this off by saying David Farrier has a new documentary coming out, and I am so excited.
And what was it called again?
Something about the Oregon King, not the Oregon King, something about
it's Oregon, Mr. Oregon or something.
Yes.
Because it's about a guy named Oregon.
Yeah.
Like his last name is Oregon, I think.
Yeah, but it's like if you guys watch the trailer and you're like fans of David Farrier and you've watched Dark Tourist or you've watched Tickled, I feel like you'll be really intrigued by this one. The trailer alone looks really good. So I just wanted to straight up at the top put a new David Farrier doc on Mr. Oregon. That sounds right. Put that on your radar.
Yeah, and hopefully the focus is good in this one. I tried to mess with it.
This is what happens when you let Ashley do anything.
No, it was the camera. It was literally it was on autofocus, which is what I would rather it be on, but it's not. It didn't work.
Right.
Okay. Should we just dive in and start talking about the filmioses that we watched?
Fire them off. Let's go.
Fire it off.
Let's do the norm here. You just let me know and I'll give you my thoughts.
Okay. Well, should we do it like the style of like Radio Bam, where they're like, "Oh, here's a country," and then he's like, "This is the capital."
Exactly. Oh my god, okay, guys. Honestly, Bam Margera till I die. Okay, we've recently
BAM till I DIE.
BAM till I DIE. We just recently rewatched all of Viva La Bam, all of Bam's Unholy Union. We've been going back and listening to Radio Bam, and this is like fueling our chaotic energy.
We hate Novak.
Ow! Whenever they make fun of him or like do anything to him and like bully him, you just hear him go, ow! We'll just
God.
You guys heard in the last pod how rack was like my vocal tick. And now, ow! The neighbors are probably like, who the fuck is screaming ow at all hours of every day?
Yeah, we had something on the soundboard, but it was playing at a weird thing. It was playing like slow-mo. Yeah. Do you tag?
Ryan Dunn? Is that you? No, it's not. Do you tag?
Tag what?
Walls. Walls. It's just like the most hilarious out of left pocket conversation. You guys had to be there,
But we watched Talk to Me finally.
Oh my god, right from the beginning. Okay, I've been seeing so many memes going around saying the kid from Talk to Me and Charlie from Hereditary would be best friends.
Right.
And you know what? Honestly, I loved Talk to Me. I had really high expectations and it really didn't let me down. It delivered on the gore. It delivered on the brutality. It delivered on the story. It gave us a new kind of possession film. I'm really looking forward to a sequel, actually. I am a slut for sequels. Right from like the kangaroo scene, like in the beginning, if you guys seen it, but right from then you're like, okay, this is gonna be a fantastic fucking film, and it really was right till the end.
Yeah, I liked it. I feel like it was better than some of the other garbage that we've watched lately.
We watched a lot of garbage, but there is a scene in Talk to Me where like you get a glimpse of what it seems to be like in limbo, or like what's where all these like souls are trapped, and it kind of makes me feel like a more brutal version of the shunting from Society.
Right. Did you watch that without me?
I did.
Yeah, the shunting.
We should watch it again. It's a great film.
Speaking of that, we watched Lake Placid. Just we watched a throwback movie. Right?
Yeah, last night we watched Lake Placid. Such a, you know what, the cast, Brendan Gleeson in that film, he was so good.
Yeah, it surprisingly has like a crazy cast.
It really did.
And for what?
What's her name? Mariska Hargitay.
Oh yeah.
Like, why?
Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, because I was like typing out something and he was like Law and Order. I'm like, did I type that on accident? And he's like, no, look at the damn TV.
And Betty White is in there. He's swearing.
Swearing up a storm. At one point, she was like, cocksucker. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Betty.
Yeah. Well, we have a sicko on the pod.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. I don't know whoever gave me this sickness. Your mom's a hoe.
I told her, have you tried not being sick? Just kidding. Just joking.
If you guys, for audio listeners, I was staring daggers into his soul.
Just kidding. Well, we watched a movie that you really liked called Theater Camp, right?
I loved Theater Camp. Oh my God, such a fantastic. That movie is right up my alley for humor, the mockumentary style. If you could like put the kids from Pitch Perfect in sort of like a greener grass situation, that's what I feel like Theater Camp was.
Yeah, it's just like about a camp that was like getting
like, and Wet Hot American Summer. It was literally beat for beat Wet Hot American Summer. But yeah,
I mean, honestly, it was like almost like they had the same bits going in each of those.
Wet Hot,
we've been going, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about Wet Hot American Summer. But yeah, Theater Camp was just right up my alley. It moves so fast. I have the hiccups. It's so fun. The humor is so good. Molly Gordon is so fun. Her name is Rebecca Diane in the movie, and they always call her RD, and I just think it's so funny. Oh my!
And Ayo Edebary is in it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she is so funny to see her outside of The Bear, and to see her in a role where she's just kind of fucking around and not knowing what she's doing, but like really pulling it off. It was so funny.
Yeah, I feel like people would enjoy that if they're into like offbeat comedies, and it's also like theater based, like a lot of singing.
Yeah, but
there's a whole like Post Malone bit that was pretty funny.
If you guys know like theater kids or like drama kid, I was a drama kid in high school. I took drama class, but I just never got out of my shell until now, and I feel like I get it now. I get it now.
And speaking of AO, we watched Bottoms with her and Rachel Sennett.
Bottoms was so good. Okay, so Intercut Podcast said that you don't really ever see like shitty lesbian representation or like LGBT representation in like characters, and just being a shitty person and like having that kind of storyline, and that's what Bottoms was. It was like if you took the male wanting to get chicks and made it girls.
Like not another teen movie, but like about like two girls going after girls.
And you know what? Another one that I felt it. I felt it. As a shitty bisexual, I understand.
And Marshawn Lynch is in that randomly.
Oh my God, he was so funny, and I actually really enjoyed him in that role.
And that was by Emma Seligman, who also did Shiva Baby.
With Rachel Sennett, who was also in Bottoms.
Right.
Looks like she can take a punch.
Right. But one thing she can't do is hold a cell phone. Can we talk?
Fucking cell phone, man.
Which one is that? Oh, there it is. There it is. We got this.
Who took my fucking cell phone, man?
But she just like I'm not trying to call her out, but her photos are like. That'll be the thumbnail. Just yeah. Right.
Fuck.
You're something else.
Love you.
Should we get her on the pod?
I would die.
Oh my gosh. Well, moving on from bottoms, we rewatched Cry Wolf. If you guys have seen that,
on the day that it was released.
On the day it was released,
in horror history.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we went for a rewatch. It's very 2005.
It had a horrible filter on it.
Yeah, it was like really like it's like a glow filter or something. Like,
but you know what? It
actually
worked.
Bring back glow filters. I kind of like them. It looked 2005.
It has to fit. Yeah, it's got to fit.
They were talking about AIM, AOL Messenger.
Speaking of, all of the people still using MSN. Yeah. AOL.
I mean, yeah, there are a lot of people using MSN, and what's that about?
And AOL.
Didn't AOL like shut down? Like, how is that even like still a thing?
Someone for our pre-order had an email at AOL.com. Right. Not to like out you or anything, but like I'm just shocked because I'm not used to seeing that anymore.
Yeah, like it's just so.
It's so 2000 and late.
No, but like, why aren't you on Gmail? Just get on Gmail.
Hotmail? Are you serious? No.
Oh my god, there are a lot of Hotmails, but I guess like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Outlook. I thought Outlook was like the new Hotmail.
Right. True.
Well, I'm glad that I never kept my old email address because it was lazypunk93 at hotmail.com.
Yeah, mine, I don't even know. I had some pretty rough ones back in the day, like A7X or something.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
A7X forever,
Forever,
But we were the same. We had like the same.
Honestly, my MySpace name was Markham X Vengeance.
Oh my gosh. Well, we watched a movie from Utopia called What Doesn't Float.
Which we went in completely blind for this one. They sent it as a screener. Thank you, Utopia. You guys are fantastic. They are just putting out a VHS copy of The Civil Dead, and it looks so cool. But What Doesn't Float, there's a scene with there's a masturbation scene. I will never financially recover from what I saw. It's graphic.
It's like it's like the movie Happiness, but like way worse.
For that scene, yeah. It's like there's dripping, and I'm just not gonna.
There's just fluids, and
I can't. It hits you in the cringe. But speaking of happiness, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I know we have to bring Logan on so he can watch it and talk about it.
Honestly, I need to hear someone's thoughts about Happiness who's literally never heard of it until like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that movie, we liked it. It was about like a day in the life. It's like in a what's the word I'm looking for? Anthology.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of vignettes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true. But then we tried to watch a movie called Apples.
Yeah, I wasn't vibing with it. I was doing a lot that day. I wanted something a lot more fast-paced and something that would entertain my chaotic brain, and that one just wasn't doing it for me.
We decided to turn on oh wait, no, this was a few days later, I think. Or actually no, I logged this a few days later, but Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Great visuals.
Yeah.
If you guys have watched Mandy, was it Mandy?
Yeah, that's the same director of Mandy, right?
Panos Color Out of Space. Did he not do Color Out of Space?
No, I think a different guy did that.
Panos Cosmatos.
Panos Cosmatos, if we're saying that right. But yeah, I like the visuals of that. That was like a pick from me that I put on.
Yeah, it was definitely a different story. The guy's face in the movie, it's like a very uncanny valley thing that makes you feel unsettled through the whole thing.
Yeah, and then it turns into like a slasher towards the end.
Yeah, it was
a little weird.
Visually beautiful, but a little weird.
And then speaking of weird, we actually while middle of the movie, we walked down this staircase in our apartment building here. Let's tell the story of
that was that day.
Yeah, it was middle of the movie. Remember, we walked down and
oh my god,
to go get our cat from your mom's.
So
and then we had to fight.
there was someone in our wait, is this our elevator time or the stairwell time?
No, the stairwell.
Yeah, this led up to the elevator time. So there's a woman who
is like literally like
next door.
Yeah.
Literally next door. And I don't give a fuck. Her name's Mike. No.
Right.
She has been bringing in the unhoused people to our apartment, and
specifically like the ones that are doing
violent
drugs
and
stealing.
They've broken into people's cars. They've stolen everything out of our storage room
on like camera, like, and then they have this lady on camera, like letting them in and hanging out with them. And she's like, I don't know. I didn't know what they were going to do. Like leading them into the garage to like let them break into people's cars and stuff like crazy.
So we always take the stairs down to visit my parents because it's literally quicker than the elevator because we live in the same building. But there was someone in the stairwell using and nodding off, and there was crap everywhere. There was money everywhere. There was just so...
And then you yelled so loud multiple times
to try and wake him up, and nothing. There's literally a fire door, and I'm banging on the fire door to try and wake this person up, and nothing. Just like I was like, is he dead?
And as soon as you literally were like, I'm gonna take his money, he literally woke up.
I literally said that because I knew he would react to that, right? And he did. He woke right up, but. It's the fact that
we had to intimidate him and bully him to get out of the apartment.
Well, we had a confrontation with the woman who's been letting these people in, and I read her up and down, and I said nobody was afraid to even leave their apartments until you started doing what you're doing in your apartment. And I said, I've already contacted Crime Stoppers. I don't care if you know.
Yeah.
So it's
just
been a
insane.
crazy. Yeah, it's been a crazy. Like we don't live in the best area, but at the same time, our landlord is not doing anything to help us in protecting ourselves here.
Right. Yeah, it's just crazy. So we had to like bully this guy, and we're not like afraid. We're just like we're just out here straight up bullying these people.
And it's only because people have like their apartments are getting broken into, and cars are getting broken into.
We don't need the drug. There's like there's literally like autistic people and like kids running around here. Like you don't need to be like in the stairwell like nodding
our
off
neighbor,
with needles everywhere.
Our next door neighbor is I don't know what, I don't want to like diagnose, but he is mentally challenged. And sometimes he just stands in the hallway and just stands there and stares and hangs out in the hallway. And like, what if he would have gotten accosted by someone, you know? He would have been helpless. And that just makes me feel like you got to stand up for the little guy and protect the little guy.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
Well,
rant over.
Yeah, that's it. That was what we were doing while we were watching that movie, by the way.
I was all riled the fuck up.
Yeah. Then we watched No One Will Save You.
Yeah, which was a surprising film. What's her name in the movie? Caitlin Dever. If you guys have watched Unbelievable, which was a really good show, she was really good in it. It was nice to see her bring that dramatic role again into this kind of sci-fi home invasion film with aliens, and I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, and it's by the guy who did Spontaneous, which we liked.
I liked Spontaneous. I cried really. It was a cute movie. I don't really like well, he says I like rom-coms, but I don't really like rom-coms. But that was a rom-com, and right. I enjoyed Spontaneous a lot.
Yeah. And the visuals were pretty good in that.
Yeah, No
as
One Will
well.
Save You. It had very minimal cast,
Mm.
and very minimal dialogue, but the action sequences and the way that it was shot was very believable, except for near the end, the CGI. They showed the monsters too much. That's, the alien. They just showed it too much.
Yeah.
If they would have pulled back on the appearance of the alien, it would have been way more convincing.
True. Then we watched a depressing watch called Come and See.
Oh my God. That was the first day that I was sick. I was homesick, and Alex goes, well, might as well watch it. We're home. And it was very fucking depressing. That movie was fucking bleak, man.
What a light watch for the Sunday afternoon.
Light watch.
It was like a Monday or something.
Yeah, it was Blue Monday, am I right?
And that one, if you guys don't know, it's like a war movie. Some people say it's like kind of horror. It's not really horror, but
It's more the horrors of war.
yeah, it's the horrors of war. And it's really like, it is like a war movie. It's actually like an anti-war movie. That's kind of like why they made it, to like say like we shouldn't have this stuff going on.
But it's also a character study, because you're watching the main character accidentally pick up this rifle, get thrown into this war, and you're watching him go from a playful, curious child to a literal broken, beaten man
Yeah, true.
in
And
the matter of 2.5 hours.
there's even like there's like a scene where they literally killed like a cow in real life.
It was a real fucking cow. We're watching it, and I'm like, that eyeball looks too real for it to be a fake cow.
Yeah. It was rough. It was a rough watch.
And, like,
but it's a good movie.
The scene with the, like, if you guys have seen it, there's a scene with the young girl at the end, and like her face is like seared into my brain.
Yeah. And well, talking about searing into your brain, we watched a movie called Murder Size, which we didn't like.
But they followed our pod, so I'm
They
just gonna.
followed us.
I didn't pay for these tits for no one to look at them. Look at them.
And I don't know. I mean, maybe you liked it more than me, but I just thought, like, for me, it was like, I like sleazy, stupid horror, like low budget horror movies, but I just felt like this one was just creepy and weird, and like the dialogue
I was kind of
horrible.
vibing with it only because we've watched so many Tubi movies lately, and that is on Tubi now.
Right, but I feel like some of the, I don't know. I mean, that was
Choices?
like on par with like Evil Bog 7, like for how
Which
horrible
we
it was. I know,
love.
right? I know.
The ginger dead
Right.
man.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But then we turned on another movie called Borderland.
Oh yeah, I don't know why y'all are hyping that one up. I really don't. I didn't enjoy that. That wasn't good.
I guess at least like with Murder Size, like that one's at least like it's like campy, so like it like could be like funny. But Borderland is just horrible, and Randall Emmett is the producer.
Yeah, we
We didn't know that going in.
We don't support Randall Emmett. If you guys are a VPR stan,
Yeah.
we're here for our girl Lala.
Right.
Give them Lala.
And yeah, that movie was just like it felt like it was just hopping on like the Hostel train, like trying to be like Hostel, like these.
And it also had a weird filter on it.
Yeah, weird filter, right? Yeah, and people were commenting that on Letterboxd. I think they were like, "Why does this like look so weird?" Like,
Yeah.
And then we decided to cleanse our palates with something actually good, and we watched the De Palma doc.
Yeah, Brian someone commented when we were watching this film, they should have let Brian De Palma talk a little more, whatever.
Yeah.
Literally the whole documentary is Brian De Palma sucking his own dick.
Honestly,
That's all that it is. And it's a great doc. It's
Yeah.
an extensive doc, but that's all it is.
Yeah.
That sounded really good.
But yeah, the De Palma doc. I really liked it. I mean, it was kind of like an interesting look into his films and his filmmaking style. And I'm surprised that we didn't watch Dress to
Kill. We watched Body Double. We did not watch Dress to Kill.
Allegedly, I feel like we did.
I remember it from In Search of Darkness. I don't remember watching it. I remember Body Double.
I feel like we watched. I feel like I remember it like vividly, like the stuff that's not.
Did you watch it without me?
No, because I didn't log it. But yeah, we didn't log it, so I guess we didn't watch it. But we watched Mother May I from 2023.
Yes.
With Kyle Gallner.
Big fan. If you guys watched The Passenger, which was a really good movie that came out this year, he is our horror king. I've said this before, man. Mother May I was it's a very, very, very small, like 2 people cast, but it's about a husband and wife who do this like weird therapy thing where they kind of switch roles and talk about their problems but spoiler alert, just because I want to like rope you in, his mother passed and somehow she ends up possessing the wife for 3 days, and it's about a lot of mommy trauma, but it's a good performance. Like the good performances are really solid.
I agree, and also I noticed that we've been zoomed in this whole time, and we don't even have the cool lights going on. Like they're on, but they're not in the frame. I zoomed it in too far. We'll get this right one day, you know. We're like,
at least we're in focus.
We're like,
ow.
we're like 2 years into the pod, and we're just like, yeah, we'll get it right one day.
One day. Stick around, guys.
Red Bar's been on for like 20 years, and he's still
tweaking his
things
set.
up. Yeah.
Fucking smoke goes out.
Fuck. We should get a smoke machine in
no. Oh.
Do you think your parents would care?
Oh, probably not. They probably want to use it out there when they're partying.
Right.
My parents, for like trying to find a song, they couldn't remember a song name for like a week, and they're like, every time we come down here, they're like, you don't know this song, Leah, whatever they're saying, and then the one day my dad's like, the TV was listening to me, and the song popped up on YouTube when I went on YouTube.
Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm just listening to it now. We watched Slaughterhouse.
You know what? I liked Slaughterhouse. I enjoyed it. I think this is a really good introductory horror. I feel like if I was in high school and this movie came out, I would have loved to watch it with a group of girlfriends. I would have had a great time watching it. This is like back to my roots of shitty like college, high school, right. Not very much blood, but still kind of a slasher film, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It was like it's like a low budget, funny, like just campy. I guess like it's literally like about a sloth, so it's like okay, like
it's just like it opens with
what else? What can you do?
Killing like a fucking alligator or whatever, and then you're like, oh,
that's this kind of movie.
This is gonna be.
I mean, we just watched the Ginger Dead Man 3 last night, so.
Yeah, and then we woke up to one this morning. I'm not sure what it was, but there was like a nug of weed that was like silicone, and it was flying around the living room, and the girl was like, "I'm gonna smoke you."
Right.
Oh.
There was a scene in the Ginger Dead Man 3 where there was like a guy and a girl, and they were going at it like in a closet somewhere, and then some guy opens the door. It's like a janitor, and then the guy turns around and goes, by the way, the Ginger Dead Man's watching the entire time, and then the guy turns around and goes, "Oh, hey, Dad." And I guess they were on like drugs, like mushrooms or something, and then they start hallucinating, and the girl thinks it's like some other guy, and then she goes, "Yeah, get in here and join us." And then it's just the dad.
I can't with these
humping
movies.
the guy.
Charles Band.
And then the Ginger Dead Man.
Explaining to do.
And then the Ginger Dead Man just watches it and then just starts shooting them with a nail gun like 1,000 times until they die.
Cinematic masterpiece. I was dead to the fucking world.
Yeah.
He's probably watching this movie and I'm like, mouth wide open, fucking catching flies.
That was like, I feel like that was like only like 10 or 20 minutes in.
Yeah,
too.
it didn't last long.
Ridiculous. But we watched El Conde,
El Conde, right? El Conde?
El Conde,
I'm pretty sure.
something like that.
That was a fucking good movie. Didn't realize that it was the guy that did Spencer, which is why it was like a rewritten history kind of thing.
Right.
But it is about a dictator?
Yeah.
And he was, they rewrote it so that he was the abandoned son of a vampire, and he was the only vampire in his family, and he was married to, like, there's no rules.
Right.
He's married to a human, has human kids, and he wants to die, but he's forgotten where he's hidden all of his fortune. So the kids want to find the money and kill him off.
Yeah.
And there's a whole like other side plot with another character who has like sinister plots against him. It's good film, long film, but good film.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like surprising. I didn't know it was going to be so like comedy heavy, I guess.
And I liked that it was black and white. Elric on Colors of the Dark was like, a girl walks home alone. What did he say?
Oh, a dictator walks home
alone at night. If you guys have watched A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, that's the vibe I got too.
It was pretty good, so we recommend it. It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And then we watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Oh, it was so good. I enjoyed it so much. I love Wes Anderson. I thought it was a beautifully well-told story. Benedict
That's
Cumberbatch.
also on Netflix.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch. He's just, his range in this film is so good. I think it's so good. You get everybody. You get Ben Kingsley. You get Ralph Fiennes, you know? Right. You get Dev Patel, you get our guy from the IT crowd.
Yeah.
Everybody is in this movie. It was so good, and it was short, and it was it's a story that you think is gonna go longer, and it doesn't, and I like that because they don't drag it out.
Yeah, true.
And it's beautifully colored.
It's very Wes Anderson-y with like the kind of like the pastel colors, you know?
Yeah, and how you can tell that things were made on like miniature sets.
Yeah.
He's very symmetrical. Everybody is very matter of fact, to the point, talks very fast.
Yeah, true. And yeah, I think those kind of movies like rely on like the performances and stuff like that because it could be bad.
Yeah, right when it opened, because I wasn't sure who was gonna play the lead role, like of the narrator guy, as it was opening, and then all I did was hear the voice, and I was like, "That's Ray Fiennes.
That's Ray Fiennes.
That's Ralph.
That's Ralph.
That's Ralph Fiennes."
Oh my gosh. Well,
has that brought us to the end?
Yeah, of this episode. So,
well, there is a movie that I want to watch actually, so maybe we can follow up on our next pod. The one I mentioned last night before we watched Lake Placid, The Unbinding, which is kind of like a mockumentary. It's about a witch story. It says, after discovering a strange statue in the Catskill Mountains, two hikers become the target of a chilling paranormal phenomena.
Why is everything always like in the Catskills? Like, does any of these like filmmakers even know like anything about the Catskills?
Yeah, because Martha Marcy May Marlene is set there. There's so many things that are set there.
Yeah,
Sean Durkin. Wait, that what did he do recently?
Dead Ringers.
Dead Ringer, guys. Stay tuned for the next pod because Dead fucking Ringers, man.
Yeah.
That was some hot stuff.
But everyone's like been doing that like they've been like, yeah, this is set in the Catskill Mountains, and it's like,
why?
Have you been there? And they probably also like filmed it like in like Ontario, like the Yukon territory or something.
Yeah. No, it would not be in the Yukon.
What do you mean?
They're not filming in the territories like that. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. It just feels like I don't
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like
feel
these
like it
people
would
aren't
be
even.
like BC or something, you know?
Isn't that in there?
No, that's a province. He's not Canadian, and I'm not American, so we don't know anything about each other's lands.
But it's like you just like didn't get you're just defending Canada. Canada sucks, okay? And what I meant, let's take this off here.
You've been here for
Canada
2
rant.
years
Canada
now.
rant.
You chose it. You chose to be here. He took the microphone off the stand for audio listeners. He's riled the fuck up.
Okay, well, what I was just making
I hate
like a
fucking
joke.
Canada.
I was making like a joke, you know, like, hey, it's like the Yukon territory because like there's trees and shit there. Whenever we see commercials for it, it's like, come to the Yukon because there's mountains and trees and national parks. That's what I think of when I think of the Yukon territory. But it could be in the it could be in
I think
BC.
of British Columbia when I speak of mountains and trees and national parks.
All right. What do you mean then? What's in the Yukon?
The territory.
What? No. Wait, let's look it up.
I also almost failed geography. I also called a peninsula a peninsula when I was in high school. So
no.
Yeah.
Look at when I type in Yukon Canadian territory. That's what I was picturing. Like this mountain range and the trees.
But search up British Columbia. It looks the exact same.
Oh my gosh. See, it's a wild, mountainous, and sparsely populated territory in northwest Canada.
Yeah, there ain't shit there.
But that's kind of like what I don't know, wherever.
That's what you think the cat. I think the Catskills looks like there's a bunch of like abandoned sheds and forests. That's what I get when I think Catskills.
Yeah, and there are like abandoned. It's like all kind of like just like trees and the mountain ranges. But I just feel like these people haven't even been there, and they just like heard some like legend about the Catskills. So now everything's set in the fucking Catskills for some reason.
The legend of the Catskills.
But then they probably just like film it in Canada, get a tax break, and don't even go to the Catskills and know nothing about it.
Or they're filming in like Bulgaria, like they did for fucking X
yeah,
and Pearl.
True. That's just me defending the Catskills, you know.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've explored it. I know. I've walked the mountains to get to abandoned ski resorts.
You know what, guys?
Which you can find on my Patreon, by the way. I put that on my Patreon.
I've been to Niagara Falls. And that's about it.
It's nice there.
Canada side.
The Canada side.
Okay, I'm actually getting hangry. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's fucking
Okay
7 o'clock.
situation.
Yeah.
What do you
Where's
mean?
the pasta? Where's the fucking food? Let's go.
We have a whole other podcast to record.
Right.
What do you mean?
I need to eat something. I'm gonna fucking lose it.
But what do you mean? Okay. All right, I guess we'll just come back down and do that one.
Okay.
But then we have to do 2 podcasts when we come back down.
Whatever.
Well, this is Nefarious Things, right?
Popo so.
Bye.
I gave him a year.